Thank you. And Ashley, if you'll let me know when most people are in the room, I know you're going to be letting them in throughout.
Mhm. Right. Yes, most people are in the room now.
Okay. Well, in the interest of time, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And this meeting is being recorded. So if you join us late, you'll be able to watch it on recording. Um, Hi, everyone. I'm Michelle Owens. I'm the director of the Henderson County TDA. Welcome to the Fall Partner Marketing Update. So today, you're going to hear about marketing campaigns, key performance trends, co-ops, and other ways to connect. And you're going to hear from just about everyone on our fabulous team. You're going to hear from Paradise Marketing and Advertising, Distal PR, Payne Westwood and JBD Insights, Big Boom Design, and Ashley Downer, our TDA Social Media and Digital Trails Coordinator. In addition, just want you to go ahead and mark your calendars. In the spring, we'll do a spring marketing update. So that'll be March 11th, and we'll do a webinar then as well. And then in May, with an exact date TBD, we're going to do an in-person tourism celebration event that should be a lot of fun and a great time to gather together face to face and celebrate our industry. So looking forward to seeing you there and so forth. So today we are going to try real hard to keep it to an hour. In the interest of time, we may or may not have time for questions at the end of the day. So if not, just want you to see the newest form on our website. It's visit hendersonvillenc.org/TDA-resources, or you can simply go to the bottom of our homepage to our partner resources link. Here's a form for you. You can use it today. If you have any Q&As, this will go to everyone on this team and we'll be able to answer your questions. And you can use it for today's webinar or anytime you have a question. So it's debuting today. So make sure to note this. If you don't have one of the TDA staff's individual email addresses, you can reach us this way and we'll make sure the right partner gets your question. Also, this webinar again is being recorded. The recording will be available in our next partner newsletter. I'm sure almost everyone on this call, on this webinar, gets the newsletter, but if you haven't, please sign up here. It's in partner resources, but the exact landing page is visit hendersonvillenc.org/partner-newsletter. Um, about our newsletter, just a quick, exciting bit of news I want to break here. First of all, it's the award-winning partner newsletter. Last week, we found out that, so here's the thing, our partner newsletter was the gold winner for the 2025 North Carolina Tourism Industry Association Awards for Best Community Stakeholder Communications. So yay for that. And also, Message from the Mountains was the platinum winner for the first ever social media marketing award given by NCTIA. And then that same video won Best of Show. So for all the awards that NCTI gives out for its marketing. I think these honors are just a great intro, actually, to everyone you're going to hear from in this webinar today. All these people are really the people who do all the work behind these wonderful things that have won these awards, and I'm honored just to know them and work with them. And they work for you too. So I'm glad to share this time with you with them. I am going to start it off, I believe, with Kristen Murphy. One more quote. This is what the NCTI director said about their work. And so I just want to share this. Their work exemplifies how a destination can meaningfully engage visitors during a difficult time. The video was about Helene and recovering. Meaningfully engage visitors during a difficult time through compelling narrative, striking imagery, and strategic digital communication execution. And I think while that is true of that one award-winning video, it's true of everything everyone on this team does. So with that, I will hand it off to Kristen Murphy of Paradise Advertising.
Thank you, Michelle. All right, I'm going to share my screen. All right. So good afternoon, everybody. And thank you so much for joining today's partner webinar. I'm Kristen Murphy. I'm with Paradise Advertising and Marketing. I work with the entire team you see here, all the agencies, internal team members on the overall account strategy, brand direction, and pretty much execution across the board. I'm excited to walk you through Hendersonville's most recent marketing performance and campaigns, and also take a look at what's coming down the pike. As always, our goal with these sessions is to keep you guys informed, inspired, and connected to work with your TDA and its agency partners in what we're doing to drive visitation and strengthen our local tourism economy. So looking at campaign performance, we're going to start with a quick look back at the campaigns that have been in the market so far this calendar year. We've been maintaining a strong, consistent presence with our media, with our always-on campaigns, complemented by some seasonal campaigns that I'm going to walk you through in just a second so you can see how they all overlap. So the dotted line that you're seeing in the middle is actually the reflection of the two different fiscal years. So while it might be one calendar year, these are two different fiscals. But this visual actually shows how our efforts have overlapped across the fiscals for continuity purposes. So in FY25, earlier this calendar year, we ran our Always On and Spring Summer campaigns from March through June. Then beginning in July, the seasonal Always On campaign for the next fiscal year kicked off. So really no downtime. And that's going to go all the way through the end of the fiscal, which is in June 2026. This approach, by staggering it this way and layering, allows us to stay continuously in the various markets. We're going to continue to build momentum and brand familiarity while also evolving our creative and storytelling with each new season and as new opportunities arise throughout the destination. Sorry. From April through September, all campaign elements performed well above industry benchmarks across their respective platforms. I think this is a testament to the strength of the different creative and media strategies in place. Overall, we delivered more than 19.5 million digital impressions, generated 154,000 plus video views, and we saw more than 12.4 million paid social clicks. These numbers show not only how our strong engagement is performing, but also meaningful interest and action from our different audiences, driving them to explore your destination, Hendersonville, as their next getaway. So the Always On campaign keeps Hendersonville top of mind year round. This one is always on, hence. Here you can see just a few, very, very small few creative executions, including the Apple season video content. That also really resonated with our audience. We launched the fall campaign. We had various digital placements with that, also print placements. We did something with Garden and Gun. This helps us reach that aspirational high-value traveler. Each element of these campaign ties back to our overall brand promise of gratitude at altitude, which is a very authentic, beautiful, emotionally grounded storytelling platform. And that was Always On. The next one I'm going to show you is the Spring Summer. So the Spring Summer brought vibrant, high-impact placements across multiple platforms, Pinterest, mobile views, mobile video, like in-app advertising, as well as premium print exposure in Our State magazine. Beautiful, absolutely gorgeous storytelling opportunities there with this beautiful placement. Together, these efforts highlighted Hendersonville's outdoor adventure, the seasonal experiences, and welcoming small town charm, continuing to drive awareness and consideration at the peak of travel season. So we showed that layer earlier. We've got a bunch of micro campaigns this year. We've got micro campaigns for wineries and agritourism. That's the one that kicked off prior to today. Our micro campaigns allow us to spotlight very specific niche experiences that make Hendersonville special. So like this fall, we focused on agritourism and wineries. This was inviting visitors to plan a fall getaway or experience fall in full through paid social. We did targeted emails, display ads. We featured stories from local growers, the orchards and the vineyards, and again, all built on this platform of gratitude at altitude. So that's what was behind us. Now, looking forward, we're going to look at some anticipated highlights and how we're going to be shifting our focus. Our strategic direction builds on what's been working and continues to strengthen our data-driven, audience-centric approach. So at the core, our marketing continues to showcase Hendersonville's beauty and welcoming spirit through that gratitude at altitude storytelling. We're refining our targeted audience strategies to use super segmented data to deliver personalized messages that inspire visitation. So personalized headlines, personalized photos, videos, mixing it up to make sure we're getting that right concoction of messaging and content to drive performance. Our always on return path strategy that ensures that we're re-engaging past visitors and also reaching new qualified prospects through lookalike modeling. So we can take a look at the profiles of people who have been to Hendersonville before based on their devices and what their device tells us about them, anonymized, I promise. Um, and then we're able to actually target new people that are similar because they're more likely, more qualified to come visit our destination. We also layer on market, so not just who they are, where they are, what they're doing, but we layer all that based on their interests and competitive. So if they're looking at one of your competitors, we're throwing our ads there to ensure that Hendersonville is staying top of mind among these travelers. So using search and social, retargeting to highlight Hendersonville's vibrancy and readiness to welcome guests year round. That's all coming up. So the big seasonal campaigns, here's a little bit of a preview of the upcoming seasonal campaigns and their themes. Holiday campaign, November, December, launched last week. That's our home for the holiday campaign. You're going to hear from some of the other people on this call, the other agencies, that I'm highlighting the advertising side, but Leah, who's gonna be presenting after me from Distal PR, she's also talking and pushing this through public relations efforts. So it's across the board. But celebrating togetherness, tradition, and of course, the beloved Peppermint Bear. The winter campaign, which will kick off in January, that's what we're calling the cozy season. We're also going to be featuring the winter ramble and showcasing the beauty of our slower, more reflective months. Spring campaign kicking off hard, blooming with gratitude. That's a campaign we launched last year. So trying to back it with agritourism, winery experiences, and trails. As your nature starts to come back to life during that time frame. So really capitalizing on that. Summer, it all starts here. Everything that everybody wants to do, we believe, starts in Hendersonville, especially it's like the gateway to the Western North Carolina experience. So it all starts here as a campaign that launched last year. That's going to be celebrating the outdoor exploration, family fun, new adventures like the Acosta Trail, the Ice Cream Trail, my personal favorite. But overall, each of these campaigns, it's really important, ladders back up to that overarching message of gratitude at altitude, reminding travelers that Henderson County, Hendersonville is a place where connection, beauty, gratitude, time of reflection you can have, which is pretty impactful. So I could talk for hours on this topic, but I've been given a time limit. So thank you all so much for your partnership and continued collaboration. Please let the TDA know if you have any questions. And with that, I'm going to actually pass it off to Leah Hughes with Distal PR.
Thank you, Kristen.
I'm trying to stop presenting. Don't
Okay.
mind me. Leave it to me to mess this up.
Good. All right.
Is there any way you can turn it off, Ashley? Because I can easily share my screen, but it's not letting me stop sharing.
Leah, you should be able to share now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
While Leah's pulling that up, just a reminder for anyone who joined late, if you have questions, make sure to go to our partner resources page on our website, and you will see a new form for questions. You can use that for any questions you have about today or at any time about anything, and that will get to all the TDA staff and we can share those questions.
All right. Can you guys see this now? Okay, great. So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Kristen, for the introduction and great information. My name is Leah King. I am half of the public relations team for Visit Hendersonville. My colleague, Craig Distel, who many of you know, he will be handling the spring partner marketing update. And so I'm with you guys for the fall. I'm going to jump right in and talk about our coverage metrics for fiscal year 24-25. We keep a cumulative record of the placements we receive, and we keep it on the fiscal year because that is the way that the TDA's budget works. So 24-25, we had 250 pieces of coverage. So those include print pieces, newspaper, magazine, that sort of thing, digital outlets, websites, and also Facebook, Instagram posts that are tied to those stories, whether it's the outlet that posted something about it or the writer. And when we're talking PR, we're talking earned media coverage. So these aren't the paid placements that Kristen was talking about. This is media that we've worked with to bring into Hendersonville, or either worked with over phone and through email to cover Hendersonville in their respective outlets. So those 250 pieces of coverage translated to an audience of 976 million. So those are folks that their website visitors, their subscribers to publications, their Facebook followers, Instagram followers, all of those eyeballs that could have seen this coverage over a year. That's the numbers that we're talking about. And we're working on 25-26 right now. So I'll talk a little bit about some coverage that's come through in the summer and the fall. The Akusta Trail opened in July, which I hope everyone on this call knows and is excited about. That checked a lot of boxes for us, both from a media perspective and from a visitor perspective, because the media is really clued in on what visitors want to read about and then in turn go out and do. And so it's sustainable travel. You don't have to use your car. You can walk, bike along the trail. It's accessible, which is really big. So anyone with mobility issues, since it's a flat paved trail, it's easy for them to use it. It supports small business. You know, a lot of these trails might go open in an area and there aren't breweries, gym mines, bike rentals, restaurants along the trail, but unfortunately, Hendersonville already has all of those established attractions in place, so it was ready to go as soon as the trail itself opened. And it connects to downtown. Downtown is a big thing that we promote from a media and visitor perspective. And so if somebody wants to stay downtown or wants to visit downtown for the day as part of their stay, this extends their experience because it connects right there and they can head on out on the Akusta Trail. And then it's family friendly. That's a big thing that we promote in Hendersonville, from the apple orchards to the businesses on Main Street. And since the trail is level and paved and approachable to beginners of outdoor recreation, it's great for families. So all those things, we were able to generate quite a bit of media coverage around that from TV. This is QC Life. Michelle, they were talking about the trail on a Charlotte TV show, a couple of digital outlets here. And then the print spread you see is from South Park Magazine, talking about new trails that have opened. So it was great timing for that in a desirable Charlotte market. Some additional featured coverage. All of you know we just passed the 1-year anniversary of Hurricane Helene. So we wanted to do that and recognize that in a thoughtful way from a media perspective. Want to think back to what a challenging time it was, but also let folks know that a lot of the Hendersonville that we know and love is open and welcoming visitors. And the best way you can support these small businesses and towns is to come back and stay in hotels and spend your money in restaurants and at attractions. So we worked with a writer who we had worked with before to come to Hendersonville. And so she actually used the information she had and reframed her story about the 1-year anniversary and to come to Hendersonville and visit and spend money. And it not only ran on the original website, She Buys Travel, it was also syndicated to MSN.com and the following outlets listed here that are coast to coast across the country. So it was both print and digital. And so we hope this placement and placements that followed bring folks to Hendersonville from near and far for several months to come. Apple season, as Kristen mentioned, is always really important to us. You know, a lot of those apple orchards are really the tourism pioneers. They were doing U-Pick and inviting folks out before many of the attractions that have since then. And so we always like to really embrace apple season, and that includes Apple Festival. So this season was unique that we could look back and say, hey, a lot of these orchards had a really tough 2024 due to the timing of the hurricane being in peak season. They lost a lot of visitation and revenue. But looking forward, many of them have rebuilt, and it's a great apple, wonderful family-friendly destination. So they're ready for you this fall. And so we were able to get some TV placements as well as print and digital. Carolina Country is a wonderful both print and digital outlet for us. And then what you see on the right there, the Montauk Sun, that writer came and did both digital, print, and blog post and social. She did a little bit of everything. And the Montauk Sun is a publication in the Hamptons, so just outside of New York City, very affluent audience. And she framed her story around apples, pumpkins, and wine in Hendersonville in late summer. So just great timing. Hopefully brought several people, and will continue to, from the Northeast down to Hendersonville. Looking ahead, we are in the heart of Home for the Holidays, getting ready to ramp up to the actual events happening. And we have media coming this year to report stories for next year. We always think it's a richer story when the media are able to come and experience the events themselves. So thankfully, we have some media booked this year, working on stories for 26, and we're happy to host them and work with them on that. The Winter Ramble, as Kristen mentioned briefly, where it's a new event. I'm sure you guys will be hearing more about that if you haven't already. And anytime we can talk about new, that's great for media because they want to know what's new out there. But there's also a craving for nostalgia and these old traditions and kind of throwback comfort things. And so we're excited to explore the possibilities there with the Winter Ramble. We think that'll touch on some of those interest. Cider Wine and Dine, we've been able to work with the TDA over the past several years to build that into really a hallmark event for Hendersonville, and we're looking forward to it again in 2026. Media don't want to cover a convention center event that could take place anywhere in the country. They want something where you go out to cideries and wineries and you have a sense of place. And so this event really works well for that. It's attractive from small business perspective, agritourism, craft beverage, local food. So it checks a lot of boxes, and we're always excited for Cider Wine and Dine. The continued success of the ice cream trail, as Kristen mentioned, that's been really big for us the past couple of years. If you haven't seen the PBS NC segment on their show North Carolina Weekend, it did a really good job about showing what the ice cream trail is all about. And we always love those NC Weekend placements because they re-air on PBS and then they are available at any time online. So those have a lot of longevity. And then the Visit NC Tourism Conference is coming up in March. Craig and I always participate in that. And it's an opportunity to interact with the state tourism team and hear about trends and industry standards and things that are going on from a big picture perspective. But it's also a great opportunity to interact with media. They do a media marketplace and a social hour and some good face-to-face interactions there to talk about Hendersonville. So I'll close with some opportunities to connect with us. If you haven't connected with us in the past, or maybe you haven't in a while, I know you guys are busy running your own businesses, and we can't do what we do if you guys don't have the attractions for folks to visit. So thank you for what you do on a day-to-day basis. Hopefully these are some basic, simple ways for you to keep us informed of what you have going on. Add your events to visit hendersonvillenc.org, the tourism website. We go there if we're looking for content for our visitor newsletter that we put out once a month, or if we're building itineraries for media. We go there and look for what's happening. And then drop an email if something's new, something's changed, you're offering something new, you're revising something, you're renovating. If it's helpful for us to know about, drop the TDA staff an email. They're great about forwarding those on to us, and it just keeps us up to date with what you want at your business. And be a team player. If you're hearing about these events and things and you're thinking, gosh, I can't start my own event, I can barely keep the front desk staffed, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. If somebody comes to you with something for cider, wine, and dine, and you have a great space to host a wine dinner, do what makes sense to you and offer what you can. If you could do something, a holiday themed event that can be included in Home for the Holidays, those events give us a news hook that the media is interested in. And sometimes it's harder to pitch a wonderful established business. Sometimes we just need that newsworthy hook. And some of these events help us to do that. And I can't stress this enough, whether you prefer Dropbox, Google Drive, whatever cloud file sharing service you like to use, have some photos in there. When we're saying high quality photos, 300 DPI, at least a couple of megabytes, if not larger in size, and have those ready to go. As the media resources have condensed and gotten smaller, they don't send photographers out very often to shoot their own photos. So if you can send those over to us and we can share them with the media, we'll add them to our library to have for future opportunities. But just having a few good images that show what you do really helps out. Thank you guys for your time. Please reach out to us at any time with questions or updates on what you have going on. We'll be happy to speak with you. And I will turn it over to Payne Westwood. Let me get this stopped. There you go, Sarah.
Thanks, Leah. Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah Westwood. I'm with Payne Westwood. I work with my business partner, Lillian Payne, to administer the co-op for the TDA. The co-op is a shared advertising program. And I will share my screen now and we can talk a little bit about it. So what is cooperative advertising? It's shared cost. So the TDA covers at least 70% of the total cost for each ad, plus admin and design. The remaining 30-ish% is shared between the partners in each ad. This provides excellent reach and visibility value for your ad spend. Your ad dollars are going to go much further than they normally do. When we're talking about advertising for the co-op, we're offering you partners within Henderson County who are relevant to tourism an opportunity to buy into the media plan that Kristen was talking about in the first presentation. All of that paid media, that really robust strategy, all of that audience targeting that's so sophisticated based on all these advanced strategies and technologies that allow us to zero in on audiences of people who are very likely to travel or have been here in the past. This allows you to put your business front and center with those folks. So it's not about advertising locally or trying to reach people within your own community already. This is about boosting tourism. We're doing a great job already of showing a lot of beautiful pictures of what's going on around Henderson County. But now, instead of just showing a vineyard that's any vineyard, or a hotel that's any hotel, or a restaurant that's any restaurant, we'll put your brand name in it, and you can show up and really be part of the storytelling around why Henderson County is such a compelling destination. So if you have any questions about the co-op specifically, or you'd like to buy ads, please email this address at the bottom of the screen at any time. You may have seen some emails come in to you from our address as well. That's us, and any messaging that comes from there is officially sanctioned by the TDA and part of the co-op program. So in terms of who can participate in the co-op, we're talking about tourism-related businesses. So this is hospitality, agritourism, outdoor activities, other attractions and entertainment, keeping in mind that the audience we're reaching are primarily outside of Henderson County. So if a tourist isn't likely to make good use of or be a good customer for you, you're probably not the right fit. And we say that just to make sure that all of our partners are spending their marketing and advertising budget in the most optimized way possible. The goal of the co-op is to encourage overnight visits to Hendersonville and the surrounding area. So again, the primary goal is to really promote Hendersonville as a tourism destination rather than this being just a discounted way to advertise your business to your existing customers or to people within your own market. But of course, boosting local business visibility and awareness as part of the existing paid marketing strategy is a huge part of that. We want to tell stories about your individual businesses rather than just telling the high level story of why Hendersonville and Henderson County are such a great destination. Just to make clear about what's available, this is our pilot year for the co-op in this form. I know that Henderson County TDA has offered some co-op advertising opportunities in the past. We split our season based on when we started this initiative into several seasons, including a fall, there's early winter and holiday and late winter. Our deadlines for opt-in for all of those seasons have passed, but we do still have spring and summer placements available. Those ads will run between April and June of next year. And then we will be getting a fall 2026 roll. And the next step after getting all the spring and summer placements filled will be to solicit feedback and any ideas that partners might have about how best the co-op can serve. So getting into just a little bit of detail about the ad placements we've made so far for fall, this is the breakdown of industries of who participated in the co-op, about 25% lodging, about 40% food and drink, and about 30% activities and attractions. So it's just a good blend of these industries that are so robust and rich and make this such a great place to visit. Getting into specifics about what's available for spring, summer, we have this ad option, which is a slideshow ad on Instagram and Facebook. This is the most affordable option for the co-op. It links to your TDA profile page. In this example, there are 3 different partner businesses featured, but we made the decision with Paradise to swap to just featuring one partner for each of these ads. So it's a really great opportunity to get a lot of storytelling and exposure about your business alone. You would be featured in each of the 3 slides. And this is, of course, on this platform of Facebook or Instagram, targeted to that audience that that Kristen mentioned earlier in major markets like Atlanta, Knoxville, Raleigh, Durham, Tampa, places where we know people reliably like to come and visit Henderson County. So focusing on those markets that we know are likely to actually result in visits and really boost ground traffic to your business. Another option that we have available is this digital ad with sponsored article, which will feature primarily, a headline story about Hendersonville, and then each of these little blocks on the bottom will feature an individual partner, and the partner will be mentioned in the article that these sort of click leads lead to. This ad is an interesting type. Unlike Facebook and Instagram, this follows the audience sort of around the internet within a network. So your ad could appear on major websites like ESPN, Fast Company, CNN, Forbes. And again, it's about finding the audience that's most likely to actually come and visit and telling the story of Henderson County, visit Hendersonville as a destination. The next option we have available is this really cool one. This is an interactive ad. You can see this is an example of how it would show up on the page, on desktop, on mobile. It's more of you're swiping through the article and then the ad comes up. It's just really cool, has multiple different tiles that you can click on, and each partner featured in the ad is one of the 3. And when the user taps or clicks on it, it brings up and a link to your TDA profile page. Like the previous ad example, this is one that follows the audience to these major websites on the internet. So this is just an example of what we have going. Our deadlines for opting in for ads for spring, summer are in January and February, but we're encouraging partners to get in touch with us by the end of December so we can get a conversation started. We can gather information from you in a timely manner. So again, if you're interested, please reach out to us, hblpartners@painewestwood.com, and we will be so happy to talk to you and see whether the co-op is a good fit for you. And we're just really excited to talk to you and see how we can help. With that, I will hand over to Boomer with Big Boom Design, who handles the website, sharing my screen.
Thank you. All right. Hey, everybody. Let me get this shared. Everybody seeing this presentation over here?
Yep.
Okay, good deal. So I'm Boomer Sassman. Big Boom Design is the work and honored to work with the Hendersonville website and crew for years and years and years now. And it's been really interesting to watch the transition, to be able to track all the data, build pieces, kind of monitor over the years. And so I got to give credit to everybody that's spoken before me, as well as Ashley, who's coming after me, to put the stuff out there that drives the traffic to the site. That ultimately I'm just there, kind of trying to make sure everything's monitored and collected and organized, and then as well as make sure the site stays up and running smoothly, quickly, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to walk through a couple things. I'm going to start with something less techy. Hopefully, I had originally analytics as my first piece, and I was like, it's a little bit too deep dive to start off with, but I'm going to little overview. I'm going to talk about a mapping solution that I built out to help create printed maps, and you can pull in different businesses, different layers, and then export those JPEGs into something like Canva or Photoshop to kind of expedite the process of getting to a literal printed map that might be picked up in the visitor center. And so I'll show that in just a second. There's an analytic insights platform that I've built out. I'm also deep into the AI space as far as a tech web person. And so I'm building out a bunch of these dashboards that I've always wished I could have used over the years. And so now with vibe coding and AI, it's actually doable to build these things out. So there's an analytics system that uses some AI insights to churn through the data, whether that's 30 days or 90 days or the whole year, offer up suggestions, things like that. We're going to look at some of the actual like data around the increase in traffic, increase in page views, users, things like that. And then as far as I've got a quick little slide on uptime monitoring, which just shows kind of the stability of the site over the past year. And then there's been a few blips. There's been some Mondays over the past couple months where Amazon went down for a brief day, and then Cloudflare went down for a brief day. And so we'll see those blips. And then I've got some new pieces and parts that are getting ready to get added and rolled out onto the site, but I'm going to go ahead and roll through because I have not a whole lot of time. Likewise, I could talk for probably the next hour about this, but I'm not going to do that. So this first piece on here, this is a tool that I built out called Mapping Monster. And again, the idea is pull in a map, drop in some pins. You can outline a particular county, in this case, Henderson County, and you can change the background layers of the base of whatever is actually shown on the map. So whether it's a kind of a stripped out white version, or it's as we can see some screenshots down here at the bottom, dropping in different pins. I've created a connection with the website so businesses can be pulled over and deployed, and you can hide certain categories or certain businesses and get the perspective that you're looking for. It's also got the ability to change the icon colors, change the icon itself, the actual image, and there's a lot of functionality kind of getting built out. So the goal was intended to create a printed map system, and that works now to kind of create this Canva version. But in doing this, it also created kind of accidentally this really cool embed system. So with each one of these views, you can not just print the map out, but then you could also save a little embed code that shows all the restaurants in a certain area or all the hotels. And then you can click around and view pop-ups and things like that. So if I do have time, I'll show you the actual interface, but I'm going to keep moving through. This is a view of the Analytic Insights platform. And so if any of you out there have ever used Google Analytics, it's tough. It's a lot of data. It's overwhelming. It's hard to find things. They have tried over the years to make it a little bit easier, but it's not really. And so over the past 20 years, or 15 years, I've been playing around with analytics, trying to figure out how to extract out the really good details, good and bad, and then figure out what to do about the bad ones and how to elevate the good ones. And so I started working on this platform a couple months back that brings in all the really good stuff, in my opinion, from analytics, and then leaves out the bad stuff, makes it look better, hopefully. And then a big improvement on this one that I added, and it's that first line item, that first bullet there, is there's a chat system that sits on top of the entire thing. So if you're looking at 30 days or 90 days, you can query into the AI chatbot on the side and say, hey, I'm curious about the high bounce rates across the website, or which businesses create the longest time on site. And it'll quickly grab that data, pull it to the surface, and you can kind of iterate and ask the way that you would like a ChatGPT. Next couple things in here, the actual analytics system. I'm not going to dig deep into each one of these, but we've pulled in basically an overview page, an event specific, events and attractions specific. We've created these page groupings, which is really cool. So if there are businesses and events and blog posts and pages that all talk about one topic, for instance, wine or apples or some particular, event that might be happening, you can create these clustered groupings so that it pulls all that stuff to the surface and you get that data across all those common threads. And those are kind of customized based on whatever we need to build out in the system. They're not predetermined. It also pulls in Google Page Speed Insights so that we can see how quickly or slowly the website's loading in mobile and in desktop, and we can identify issues there. Pulls in Google Search Console, which is a really cool platform that's kind of a sister platform with Google Analytics. Gives us slightly different data, and so it pulls both analytic info and Google Search Console info all in at the same time, which was a really, really cool thing to not have to jump between the two and kind of cross-reference. There's also a section in here that I built that's a SEO goals strategy. So you can kind of plug in what the goals are for the website, and both the chatbot and the AI insights look at the data, look at the goals, and then try to offer up suggestions based on all of that that's been kind of mixed together. And then the last piece on here is because we built the website and manage it, the business directory that has about close to 700 businesses, all of that data is also plugged into the system. And again, we can query it with the chatbot and kind of learn a little bit more. Here is a snapshot of these AI insights. And so again, a 30-day span, it'll churn through and crunch out all the data that it found and then come up with the good, the bad, and try to elevate those things kind of quickly to the surface. So it saved me a tremendous amount of time and not having to dig through. And then it also tries to create kind of a non-techie version of, hey, here's what's going on and here's what you might be able to do with it. Moving on. Some overall snapshots or some overall just data about the site traffic over the past year or so. So looking at this past October compared to the previous year, every single month for a long time now, it's up and up and up and up and up, which is a great trend to see. So 47.7% up October to October comparison. That's great. I'm not going to talk through all of these, but for the most part, things are trending really well. We're in a really interesting time right now with AI search kind of taking over certain aspects. And so like SEO is not dead, but it's definitely evolving fast. And so we're kind of watching numbers, attention spans, time on site, things like that kind of bounce around. And then as far as the 90-day comparison compared to the previous one, again, tracking about the same as far as increase of visits. Bumping through a few of these other ones here. We've got a screen on this dashboard system that pulls in specific advertising. So any of the campaigns, for instance, that the Paradise folks are running, any of the other campaigns that the Digital PR folks are running, we can kind of aggregate all this stuff in and kind of pull it into one clean little snapshot. This is a look at the business directory feed. So it's reaching in and it's understanding how all the businesses are organized and structured inside of the website, which is something that Google Analytics doesn't really have visibility on. So again, we're able to connect the dots and explain to this analytics system, hey, there's businesses, there's analytics stuff out here at Google Analytics, there's Search Console, churn through all of it together. Screenshot of this is a view from Search Console. The light green are impressions, meaning you almost got a click, and then we've got a darker color at the bottom. And by averaging those two out, we get what's called the click-through rate. And so this is just something that in the actual live view, I can kind of hover over day by day by day, and it's going to pop out with click-through rates based on that day, overall impressions compared to clicks. 30-day snapshot as far as top performing pages. This just kind of pulls the main pages to the top that are receiving traffic with some generalized stats. And on the actual tool, you can click in and get more information about bounce rate and flow of where folks went afterwards. I meant to start a timer and I did not, so stop me if I'm running long on time. I'm moving quick. This is the ongoing site monitoring. So we use a tool called Uptime Robot. We track hundreds of sites to make sure that they're staying alive. And if anything goes down, it pings all the websites every 5 minutes. If there's ever an outage, we're notified instantly and we can do something about it. I called out those two spikes. I don't know who was affected by this, but there was 2 Mondays over the past couple months. AWS, Amazon Web Services crashed one day, and then Cloudflare crashed a different Monday. That was stressful for all of us that run web companies. But overall, tremendous uptime as far as the site is concerned. And then last thing on here that I want to mention, this is kind of the looking forward stuff. I've got about 4 or 5 different projects and tools and solutions that I'm working on specifically for Hendersonville, and they're all in the last like 5 to 10% of completion. And one of them that I'm pretty excited about that touches on some of the things that I've mentioned is this FAQ extractor. So as AI search continues to grow and grow and grow, even if people don't know that they're interacting with an AI search result, which a lot of people right now don't know that, you Google something, that top AI snippet is actually Gemini. That's Google's AI offering up suggestions. So as far as how to get ahead of the shift in search, two of the main things that I've been working on related to this for our client base is, these AI search systems get a lot of their information from things like Wikipedia and things like FAQs. And so Google for a long time now has this list of what they call rich snippets or structured data snippets. And they say, hey, if you create your recipe or your events or your FAQs or your whatever, we will tap into it and show this information on a search results page. So I've built an FAQ extractor. Again, it taps into Search Console and analytics, and it helps craft out frequently asked questions based on what people are actually out there searching. So rather than, Ashley or Michelle just kind of sitting around thinking up like what people might need to find out, or checking with the front desk staff, like, hey, what are the top 10 things that people come in and ask? And they're like, well, maybe I have a list of this. This gives us a data-driven FAQ created system that is constantly monitoring, watching based on how the season changes, based on how the content's changing, based on natural disasters. And so I'm super excited to get it wrapped up, get it live, and really start to see if it increases engagement on the site, and what it might do to the performance overall from an SEO standpoint, which AIO is the new term. And so I think that is the last little bit. I'm probably done on time. That was the last little slide I had. Yep. Thanks. Thanks, everybody. Let's turn off that screen share.
Thank you, Boomer.
Yeah, thanks.
You want to tee up Ashley?
Oh, sorry. And without further ado, the amazing Ashley Downer, and she, we've worked together for a couple years now, and it's great to have a contact on the client side that is receptive, forthcoming with information, and is really a true like partner in the mix. And so this is, I love working with Ashley. So Ashley, there you go.
Well, thank you, Boomer, for that introduction. My name's Ashley. I am the Social and Specialty Campaign Coordinator at the Henderson County TDA. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about our social media and our digital trails with Binwango. Starting with our social media, looking at our growth year over year from last October to this October. As you can see, a lot of green, so that's a lot of good news. We have consistent followers, new followers every day. We're up 160% increase on followers. Impressions were up, and as well reach, and then engagement we're a little bit down, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. So really good things for our social media in the last couple of months, the last year. And I'll jump off with our series that we've been doing. Our partner feature series has been really fun for me. It's also had great engagement on our social media. This is when I come out to your business and I get a short interview, short interview of the business owner and your business. So you just tell me a little bit about, why you started, what you love about Hendersonville, and then I get some supporting B-roll to add to that video as well. One of our highest performing partner features was Acoustic Market and Cafe. It reached a little over 7,000 unique users, and I'll talk a little bit about that one in particular in the next slide. Another cool thing that we utilize, the same interview that I get from the partner features, we also turn that into blogs on our Visit Hendersonville NC website. So these blogs are, again, just that same interview, but turned into a blog to get you more recognition on our website. And we also post these links to the blogs on our Facebook page. So our highest was Steps Hillcrest Orchard, their tulip season. We reached just a little under 100,000 viewers on that blog. And then our Bandwango and our digital trails, we also utilize social media to roll out these trails. So for an example, our Cheers trail celebrates all of our craft beverages. So what we do is we'll post a video or a series of pictures, and the caption will include how to sign up. And it'll also say, if you want to sign up right now, just comment Cheers and you'll get direct message the link to sign up for that pass. And we've seen awesome engagement with this, particularly with the Trailhead Pass. Again, I'll talk about the digital trails a little bit later. And then we have our seasonal pushes. Of course, every year we have our Home for the Holidays campaign. Those always perform great on Facebook specifically. And then we have Cider Wine and Dine, summer music series, all that fun stuff. And then our newest series is the Acoustic Trail series. So this is highlighting businesses on the Acoustic Trail. So it'll be just a short video of some B-roll on a particular business and just tell a little bit about that business in the caption to motivate people to stop by while they're on the Acoustic Trail. And then a little bit more about the Acoustic Market and Cafe feature. We posted their feature. I want to say it was 2 weeks after their cafe opened. So it was really good timing, their feature with the opening of the cafe. And I got to talk to Robert, one of the owners there at the market, and he mentioned that about 6 to 10 people a day came in for the first time because they saw the video on our Instagram. So it's really good, feel good to see how our videos are directly impacting business for our partners. Right, and then what partners can do to be more involved with our social media. So, of course, if you're interested in doing a partner feature, you can reach out to me, or you can visit the partner resource page and fill out that form, the TDA partner question form that Michelle mentioned earlier. You can also repost or collaborate with our Instagram posts. So every time we post your business, we will always invite you to collaborate. And what this does is it shows the post to both our followers as well as your followers. So it just increases the reach and the engagement on said post. And then also allowing access to CrowdRiff. So CrowdRiff is a user-generated content platform that we utilize, and we utilize it in 2 different ways, well, a couple of different ways, but the 2 that I'll let you know about today is our social media wall in the Welcome Center. You can see on the top picture, we curate seasonal walls. So right now we have 4 different walls, and our fall one is up right now. And what it does is once you allow us to access to your Instagram account, we'll be able to curate a wall, choose posts from your feed that might align with our wall. And it will always have your handle at the bottom left. So if someone's in the Welcome Center and they see your post up there, they will always know who posted it, and they'll be able to find your Instagram straight from there. Another way we utilize CrowdRiff is embedding posts in our blog features. So this blog feature is on Witt's Frozen Custard, and they allowed us to have access to their Instagram accounts, just the posts. We don't do anything other than just curate the walls and curate the blogs. So again, on the bottom left, it will be your handle, it'll be your picture, and as soon as you click it, it'll bring the user directly to your Instagram page. So it's just another way to drive more traffic to your Instagram page from our blogs and from our website. If you're not already, of course, follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Visit Hendersonville NC, and you can see firsthand our partner features, our Home for the Holidays campaigns that are going up right now, and just kind of see what we're all about. And of course, if you're interested in being featured, please let me know. Right, and then moving on to our digital trails. We work with Bandwango, which is a white label company, so you will never see Bandwango anywhere. But what it is it looks like a little app on your phone, but it's not technically an app. But it allows visitors to easily access deals, trails, and experiences right from their phones. And then it allows us, the TDA, to a lot of data tracking to measure engagement, redemptions, signups, things like that. So we currently have 5 trails that are active. We have 3 gamified trails, which means that people can check into locations on the trails, earn points, and get prizes at the Welcome Center. So we have the Cheers Trail, the Trailhead Pass, and the Leaf Lovers Trail. Those are our 3 gamified passes. And then we have the Ice Cream Trail and the Orchard Trail, and those are itinerary passes. So they just work as a guide to help you navigate around Henderson County. And then we have a long list of potential trails, but these are just the 4 that are coming up. So we have the Stay and Save discount card. We're working on a test version of that right now. A holiday light trail for the holidays. And then moving into next year, we're looking at a pet-friendly trail and a coffee and tea trail. This is just a short video of what the experience tab looks like on the Bandwango profile. So it lists all of the businesses that are a part of it. This is the Trailhead Pass. And then once you are at your location that you want to check into, you'll have to click into whatever location you're at. And again, it shows how far away you are from said location. And it works with GPS. So you'll just click check in and then verify the location, and then they'll get the 100 points. So the business owners, the cashiers, nobody has to do anything for these gamified trails. So it's really easy just for the user and for the business itself. These are examples of some of our table tents. So whenever we launch a trail, we bring our partners on the trail toolkits, partner toolkits that include marketing materials like captions for newsletters, for Instagram posts, and then these table tents will be in there as well. So they'll be able to scan that QR code. And if you're interested in having any of these table tents or having any materials, whether you're on the trail or not, you just want to help promote, you can always reach out to me and I can get those for you. So just some quick highlights. We've seen that the Cheers Trail is leading in engagement with a little over 1,300 check-ins and 51 prize pickups. We've seen that the gamified passes drive higher engagement. So our Trailhead Pass and our Cheers Trail Passport are leading in engagement and check-ins and sign-ups. And then our itinerary style passes are often tied to seasonal pushes. So the Ice Cream Trail we launched in the summer, and it was actually aligned with a giveaway basket. So we had a lot of signups at the beginning of that launch. And then the Orchard Trail, of course, aligned with our fall campaigns. Overall, we have a little over 2,700 total check-ins across all passes. And we just started with Bandwango in March. So we're still learning a lot and seeing what we can change, what we can fix, maybe looking at changing some of their itinerary styles into gamified in the future. But yes, learning a lot about Bandwango as we go. So what partners can do, they can, of course, display those QR codes and signage to promote the pass. And you can ask me if you need anything else. We also encourage customers to check into participating businesses, whether you're on the trail or not, and then share pass links via your social media, email newsletters, and then, of course, repost and reshare our social media posts whenever we are rolling out the trails. And then this is my final slide. I'll just leave it up for a second. It's a QR code to each pass if anybody here wants to sign up for any of them. It's completely free to the user, the business owner, no purchase necessary for anything. We really just wanted to find a fun, interactive digital way to motivate people to visit our businesses in Henderson County. And I will give it back to Michelle.
All right. Well, hey, it's 1:58. We promised everyone an hour. Good job, everyone on this team. Hope everyone on this call sees why I love working with each and every one of these partners. They work hard because you guys work hard at what you do every day. As Leah said, we couldn't do our job if you didn't do yours, and you greet people so well every day. Again, don't hesitate to reach out to us with any questions or comments or things about today. And in fact, even if you want to hear something more or different, or if you want to have a little longer of a webinar in the spring, please let us know that too. It doesn't have to be just questions. It can also be comments and suggestions. We are always open to new ideas. We really try hard at that. So very much for your time and for your interest. And I think we can wrap up, and hopefully we'll see you in person before next March, but we'll be working for you between now and then, as always. Thanks so much. Thank you for everything you do, and thank you to everyone on this team. Have a great day.